Let's go, Mitch. Move along the soccers on tonight.
Righto, buddy.
Quick.
Just getting them out. We can't all be superstars here. Some of us have to do some work. What have you got? I got Channel 7.
2 words. The bounce.
The Bounce. Get rid of that one. Fox Sports.
2 presenters, Glenn Jakovich and Lee Colbert.
Don't want to work with those. Muppets. Channel 31.
2 fish.
Too fishy. Oh, the little fish channel. Don't want to work with them. Don't know how professional they'd be. They don't have a 3-second memory. Channel 9.
2 smelly.
Too smelly.
Too smelly.
That's my conclusion as well. Oh, hello. YouTube. Unpaid, but...
2 videos. Sleepwalking dog runs in the
Oh, I like that. What about Charlie Bit Me? We like that one too. Yeah.
Done.
It's a deal.
Done.
3 games about... No, we'll talk about however long we want this week.
Too much time.
This is Inside 50. Biscuit to Sleepwalking Dog.
It's so much better than
Charlie, that still works, Charlie.
It's so much
still
better.
hurting,
It's very
Charlie.
funny
Oh,
with the dog.
no, shush, it's not as funny as Charlie Bit Me. Vote on that if you want, viewers. Give us some feedback.
Straight into the wall.
Oh, I thought that was you sending a pretend email or something. I didn't know what that was. It was gay
Sorry.
though, whatever it was. Something that isn't gay. St Kilda versus Geelong at the MCG on Friday night. Absolute cracker. Very, very excited about this one. What can you tell me about it, Andy?
Huge game. If we get a games like we did between these two last year, it is going to be sensational. It'll be a Friday night feast, Mitcho.
Gonna love it.
Something that everyone can chew on
I'm gonna
over the weekend.
big chew on it.
Like that?
Not really.
I like the look of the Saints. And tell you what, 9-3 without Rewalt. Who would have picked that? They've been fantastic.
On that, Andy.
Yep.
Obviously, short-term bad thing for them, right?
Yeah.
But I want to talk about something that happened last year. And I go back to Essendon maybe a little too often. But when Hill went down last year, Essendon unveiled Ryder in the ruck. Something that probably would have never happened.
Yep.
Could St Kilda without Roo, in the long term, build the side around him?
It's a similar thing. What happens is they get to try people in different positions. People like Goddard, Sam Fisher now have the ability to play forward as well, which is going to be a huge asset. A bit like Brian,
huge in modern footy, aren't they? Brian Lake.
We love the swingers.
It's very hard. It's impossible for coaches to man up on someone when they don't know where they're going to be playing.
Exactly.
Let's keep talking about it.
Tell you what, the Cats, they have been absolutely flying.
They're missing some big names as well, Andy.
Yeah, they are. Look, from last year's premiership team, missing Corey Hawkins, Mooney Scarlett, Ottens and Rook.
That's 1/3 of a premiership
Not a
team.
bad little list there to come back in before the finals.
And let's talk about who is stepping up at the Cats this year.
Look, you got to look at the likes of
Varco for me.
And they are unveiling youngsters again. People like Simon Hogan, Mitch Duncan.
Where do they come from?
I don't know.
The revelation. The
They're
human revelation. Podsy Aisley.
Yep. Brad Ottens, he's turning into the modern day Clark Keating. He'll just come back for September and win a couple of games off his own.
He hasn't played much before round 15.
I cannot get over the Cats. They've lost 11 quarters for the year.
It's insane.
For the year.
Absolutely insane.
Little bit of off-field drama down at the Saints this week with Milne and Montagna. Unfortunate for them again.
They're a bit used to that though.
They are used to it.
It's like every second week.
I actually think St Kilda will be up for this game. I'm tipping them by a goal.
Well, if you like them by a goal like Andy, they're pretty juicy at $3.35. They've only lost 3 games and they haven't lost one for 4 weeks. Geelong are going to be $1.33. I think they're just still going to be a little bit too good, but give the Saints a few more weeks to ripen up, and I think they're going to get up there. Let's flick to the next game. No Saturday day game again, Andy.
It is really annoying me.
It kills me as well because I love coming home.
Nothing to do on Saturday.
Yeah, I know. What do? I'm just like a lost little puppy. Sydney versus Collingwood, ANZ Stadium.
Yep.
Saturday night. Few big ins for the Pies.
Some massive ins this week for the Pies. Maxwell will probably just miss, although may come back. Ball, Didak and Johnson. That's
huge.
A running brigade there. And Ball will give them that grunt work in the middle that they probably lacked a little bit against the Ds in the draw. Remember this guy? Sean Rusling.
Barely.
He's still playing, believe it or not.
No joke.
I think he could either be an absolute flop or an X factor in the finals. He could be that missing link they need just for some continuity down in the forward line. Because at the moment, Lee Brown and Dawes are swapping like anything. So if they can get that continuity in the forward line, they're a huge shot in September.
Only handy. Let's talk about the record.
Yes,
Let's talk about Sydney and Collingwood.
Recent record.
Last 8 games, they've all gone Collingwood's way, including 4 games in Sydney.
That's a massive record.
What does Sydney have to do? What are the keys for Sydney to get up in this game?
Well, I think it'll help if it rains because people like Jude Bolton and Kirk love it.
Specialists.
They love the scrap. They love the contested possession. And that's where ball in will be a huge in for Collingwood. Sydney, they may also get back Vossi's best mate, Daniel Bradshaw.
That's huge for them as well, Andy.
It is massive, and it frees up Adam Goods, who's been as out of touch as Kevin Rudd this year.
And as we're filming this, he's locked away in the
breaking
office with
news.
Julia.
Jules!
Huh? What's going on in
A
there?
spill!
I don't know, but it's good for me. I like it.
I thought you liked Kevin Rudd.
What was that, Ison? Rudd 07.
Kevin 07.
Yeah, and then I saw a good one. Kevin 10. Something about being in the bin or something.
Would have been funny if you remember.
I didn't research that one very well.
So I'm flicking over to the trade as well. We're going to look at Darren Jolly against his old side. I'm going to ask you, Mitcho.
Who did Sydney get for Jolly?
Jeddah and McGlynn they got.
Ooh.
Who's won that? Short term?
Jolly, I guess, short term, but long term, it does look like Jeddah and McGlynn are going to be real players for Sydney. And they let's talk about McGlynn. I mean, God, they recycle players, don't they?
Oh,
He's
they
an
love it.
absolute revelation.
Paul Roos.
Who do you like in this game?
Well, Sydney have not beaten anyone above them on the ladder, which is an amazing statistic considering they're sitting in the 8 with quite a juicy percentage. Pies by 4 or 5 goals.
Look, it's very important in modern footy, though, to beat teams that are below you, because we know how much it's hurting teams like Essendon and Carlton. They seem to be able to knock people off up the top, but they can't get it done when they're against the lower teams. 2.25 the Swans. If they're a little bit longer, I'd have a go at them, but you've got to go with the Pies at $1.65 based on that record.
Yep.
Adelaide and Melbourne and Amy, Andy, our last game of the round.
Look,
let's touch on what's a pass mark for Melbourne this year. How many games do they need to win to have a pass
probably
mark?
7, above 7 or 8.
Is it a win?
I think they will do that. However, they are starting to fade out a little bit, as we can see. The break has come at a really good time for the Ds. Adelaide, well, they were looking to salvage something in the second half of their season. We saw another crow landed this week in Big Brett Burton. The high-flying leaper will be retiring at the end of the season. No farewell game for Big Brett Burton.
Crow's feet, getting old.
I like it.
Hey?
Didn't even write that down.
No, I just thought of it.
On flight. How would you be working in the Melbourne marketing department? New facilities, moving in, everything's happy. And what happens? The whole precinct gets shut down because a gun runs through.
Oh,
there.
no, really?
Stiff.
Oh, that's bad news.
Oh, jeez, you look very upset.
Yeah, I don't care, really.
Love Brent Maloney's work in the last quarter against Collingwood. He was fantastic. They'll need that bullocking work this week against the bigger bodies at Adelaide. Jack Watts will be a star.
Not agreeing yet. Still waiting to see it.
It's very harsh.
You put me down a little rumour mill here while we're on Adelaide. Chris Knights.
We'll be back in Melbourne next year.
Will he? And he's room to go to Richmond.
Carlton, Essendon or Richmond, who are in the box seat at the moment.
No joke. Tigers aren't playing this week. And you know what? For a few weeks we didn't even give their game any time because we thought that was conclusion. So we owe the Tigers a little bit
chance
of time.
For the 8, I reckon.
Definitely not this year. But how long is it going to be? People in the media were saying 4 or 5 years until they're back up there.
Yeah.
Right now, it doesn't look like they're that far away.
I think
if they can pinch a couple of names from other clubs,
look, the Tigers developed.
Could they be challenging in 2 years for top 8?
They could be. Yeah,
they could be, couldn't they?
Ironically, we were saying 5 years.
Absolutely phenomenal.
That's great.
Let's talk about odds. Adelaide are out at $1.62, clear favourites. You haven't told me what Melbourne are here, Andy,
not worth
but I'm
it.
going to say they'd be about $2.40 based on that. I'd say about right.
Not worth it.
No. Give me Adelaide at $1.62.
And I know you sorted through the mail there, and we've got a ripper viewer artwork of the week, Mitcho, which you've been doodling before we went on air.
This is a good one. Well, I've got it the other mail.
So
going back to the old days when we used to pretend that someone sent it in.
It's from
press conference.
Pete Hellier, this one.
Look at this. In the press conference, we've got Didak, Milne, and Harvey with their new names. Didakia, Milnecchio, and Harvello. And then on the screen, we've got Marcello Lippi, the coach of Italy, saying, Forza Italia! And then he says, Aprompa papopacini, mamma manna, fettuccini al pasta al dente. Which translates to, I have seen the ability of these three, and they have what it takes to play for Italy.
What, soccer skills?
They sure know how to take a dive. No. Disclaimer at the bottom here. It says, this viewer artwork is the intellectual property of Andrew Mays. If you have a problem with it and you think it's racist or anything like that, talk to him. It was his gig.
Disgrace.
We'll see you next week. Go the Roos. Ouch, Charlie. That really hurt. What an idiot.